can hear the lost crying. I can hear the truth hiding. Yeah, the shadows are calling us out. I see the fear rising. Yeah, but my hope is burning. The shadows are calling us out. We are heroes, heroes in the darkest time, when there is no light. Oh, we are heroes, heroes in the darkest times, but we'll rise above. Oh, we are heroes.
Good afternoon to all the summoners tuning in again to our GCM Group Stages Day 1. My name is Vulcan, with me is Crazy Apple, and we will be your shoutcasters entering Match 3, coming in from Match 2 with a great play by Team Anything for winning that match against MSK, which actually was a very close game.
Yeah, it was a really close game up to the point where Mineski lost that team fight against Team Anything, and oh man, that last fight,
It was a bit of-
I remember that moment when I saw Mineski,
Yeah.
and they were all falling down. In my head, I was like, oh man, this
What's
is it.
happening?
What's happening? Team Anything has this game in the bag.
But in the end, we did emphasize the power of this Camille. It can go either jungle, but we weren't expecting too much in the top. But if it does go towards the top lane, you can expect great results, as you saw in Match 2. But well played indeed by Team Anything. They have taken away 1 point from Mineski. But right now, guys, you might be wondering what's going to come up next. But before that, we got you covered with the schedule. But first, let's check out the standings to see what is happening so far. Again, guys, quick recap of our format for the GCM group stages. Note that it's going to be top 2.
Yeah, the top 2 of the group will be going towards the semifinals, which will be on August 18 at the SM MOA Arena. And as we see here, both Ascension and Team Anything both winning their first games of the day.
Well, this is a great way to start your first day. And as far as I can recall, yes, it's going to be Group A for today, Group B for tomorrow, and let's hope that our Group A has another chance when it comes Wednesday. So let's check our schedule to see what's coming your way, guys. Once again, we did come back from our Match 2 with Team Anything concluding with a very nice comeback victory. But now, that's going to be history. Let's move on to Ascension Gaming versus Mineski, followed up by Resurgence and versus Team Anything. So, Ascension Gaming won their first match. Mineski lost their first match too. So, this is going to be a very interesting dynamic we're seeing here for Match 3.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be really, really interesting because for Ascension, they have the momentum going in from the first game, beating Resurgence. I would say pretty convincingly. They would always try and get more objectives across the map. They would, whenever Resurgence was going for, let's say, the bot side, Ascension Gaming was in the top side of the map getting another objective, and they would always jump on small mistakes being done by Resurgence.
That was great. I mean, you know for a fact that for Ascension Gaming, we did peg them to be the kings of the sea region, and now they show us just that in Match 1 with their great trade. But guys, let's get straight towards our drafting phase. Match 3 will determine how Mineski will fare in the standings, because if they go for another loss, I mean, they have one last chance today, because all teams right now for today, Group A, will be playing 3 times in a row. We're going to be seeing Ascension and Mineski, but right now, I mean, we delayed it too much. Why delay it even more? Let's get straight to Match 3. Ascension Gaming on the blue side versus Mineski on the red side.
Yeah, and Ascension Gaming first going for that Swain ban, while Mineski is answering back with that Aatrox vaccine, which we have been seeing so far on every red side game we've had.
And you would wonder, Aatrox, is it still a high priority? But yes, it is. I mean, nerfs aside, it's still okay. I mean, you can still use it, but the real question is, for me, is that Ascension Gaming removing one of the favorites from Mineski, the Shen support in the bot lane being removed. Hamas is very adept in playing that champion.
Yeah, and with that ban, I think it's pretty pretty smart coming from Ascension Gaming because you could flex this Shen pick not only for on the hands of Habes, we have also seen it before in the hands of Kaigu, but Mineski going for that Lacan ban, which we also saw the previous game where I believe it was Team Anything who actually banned that champion.
And now, Ascension Gaming will close their batting phase with a Zoe. We did see the same bans we saw in match 1 with Ascension Gaming, removing the Zoe in one of the powerful mages, but right now Mineski, looks like they saw what's up with this Camille, will be banning it out.
Yeah, and they don't want to deal with another Camille pick, especially coming from Ascension Gaming, and we do see that Ascension Gaming locking in that Rise pick.
Oh, a priority on this Rise. This gives Mineski some control right now. Looks like they will have their luck again with this Varus. Varus in this matter can go both ways on hit or the lethality build. But for now, Mineski will be banking on the Morgana for the support. And a hover right now, and that locks it in. That's going to be a Morgana and a Varus. Instantly prioritized by Mineski on the red side.
Yeah, and I think it's a really smart pick coming from Mineski. They do pick again that Varus. It was kind of questionable how Gary was using this pick earlier on. He was getting picked off, especially in the team fights where every time Team Anything's support, the Tom Ken should always get on top of Gary in the team fights. So now adding to that with that Morgana, it may provide more protection for Gary in those team fights.
Kindred is one of the junglers that we did expect to see in patch 8.15 coming into GCM because Kindred right now is somehow very powerful, if you would say. I mean, can you be more specific on that for me, Crazy Apple?
Well, I think it was in the previous patches that Kindred got slowly buffed. He, in a way, the game designers was thinking that we need to get Kindred back into the meta, so they would give these slight buffs, and eventually other strong junglers fell out of favor in the current state of the meta. So Kindred is coming back into the meta, and we see him and Lamb actually being one of the more priority picks for these professional teams.
And now we're going to be seeing the Tom Kench. Interesting enough, you would expect a Tom Kench instant pick when you see a Morgana. The Devourer can save himself, and we did see some Tom Kench players running the lens. So coming in from game 2, yes, it's the fact that Gary gets easily dove by this Tom Kench thanks to the cross-map plays with the Abyssal Voyage. But let's get on to our phase 2.
Yeah, and for the phase 2 of bans, we see here Mineski going with that Darius and that Nor ban, while for Ascension, they're yet to lock in that last ban. They banned the Ornn and the Gangplank, specifically targeting Kaigu.
And we know that Kaigu plays Gangplank a lot, and Gangplank has a relatively safe laning phase if you know how to play properly.
Yeah.
But so far, possible tops that are available, the Cho'Gath is up for grabs. You can expect maybe a Mundo, but it's not gonna happen here because we're gonna be seeing a Cho'Gath covered by Mineski. That's smart. They instantly lock it in.
Yeah, and they're reserving their last pick for EXO. They did lost their first game of the day, but we saw EXO playing so well on that Talia. And EXO, I think, was one of the shining members for Mineski in the previous game. So if they can put him on a really strong champion, on a probably counter pick here in the mid lane, probably he's gonna go against that Rise, but he wants to see what are the other picks coming from Ascension, because there's still a small chance that this Rise could go to the top lane.
And you did mention, okay, for Mineski, EXO does shine really well. Shine so bright in game 2, but you gotta hand it to G4 on his Vel'Koz coming in from match 1. Let's see, as Crazy Apple did mention, will this Rise go towards the top side or the mid lane? I think it's gonna go mid because we're still waiting. Last pick, 2 seconds left. Renekton locked in by Ascension Gaming. This closes their drafting phase. Right now, Mineski, the $1,000,000 question.
Yes.
What's gonna be the mid laner? It's gonna be the Vel'Koz that we did see in match 1, played by G4. That's gonna be great. Let's see. I mean, your thoughts on this Vel'Koz up against the Rise?
Yeah, and we saw earlier in the first game of the day where G4 was actually on that Vel'Koz while it was Raven from RSG that was using that Rise. I felt like Vel'Koz can shove in the Rise early on from levels 1 to 5, but when Rise gets his items and he can just freely spend his mana, he can keep on shoving that lane. But we did not mention that actually Ascension Gaming did lock in that Renekton for Rocky in the top lane, which is actually a very it's not a pick that we usually see anymore in the top lane, but whenever we see that Renekton, we're assured that the aim for the top lane is to try and win that lane heavily for their side.
And let's hope they do for Ascension Gaming's win condition. But seeing how this game is gonna pan out. If you've missed match 1 and how G4 performed so well on his Velcos, maybe it'll be a great time for you to watch match 3 and see how EXO can he pull up the same place as G4 did in match number 3. So this closes up our drafting phase. We're ready, and we're now waiting on the wings to see how match 3 will turn out. We have Ascension Gaming winning match 1, and we have Mineski having a heartbreaking defeat in match 2, where they had control, but in the end, it was the Camille that was out of control.
Yeah, and if we could just see here from an ST, if they can again take control early on in the game and get the lead, and if they can just close out the game better than what they did earlier against Team Anything, and if they can just contain the top lane again, because if Rocky gets ahead on the top lane, he can again bully Kaigo around, and if they have another split pusher in the form of that Rise, if G4 gets ahead, then he can also bully out Kaigo in the side lane if they do decide to go for that split.
But we do see Cho'Gath on the hands of Mineski. Maybe they have some safety when it comes to Baron secures, but it's the fact that when we saw how things pan out in match 2 that makes you question what happened for Mineski against Team Anything. But for Ascension Gaming, looks like still coming from match 1, great confidence there. I'm excited to see how match 3 will progress, but let's check out on how did the drafting go. We'll show you for the viewers just joining in right now. You are watching the GCM group stages, day 1, Group A, with Ascension Gaming versus Mineski. Blue side, red side, respectively, for match 3.
Yeah, and we also didn't mention that actually it's not Hamas in the support position, it's actually TG right now.
And TG will be playing as the sub for Hamas. So you were saying, Grey's Apple, regarding to picks, any final thoughts?
Well, it looks like Mineski again is going for the same composition that Ascension Gaming went with the first game, with a more of a front-to-back composition, with more a traditional sense. But at the same time, Ascension Gaming has that misfortune. So if ever Mineski is clumped up in a tight spot, the misfortune can just finish them all off.
And we'll see it if that's gonna be the case here, Apple. This is match 3. We are now ready to enter Summoner's Rift. See you there. And let's get straight to it. This is going to be match 3 of our GCN group stages. Day 1, Ascension Gaming on the blue side versus Mineski on the red side. With Ascension Gaming feeling pretty good, with high hopes, high spirits, which is winning their match 1. But for Mineski, they're out for revenge. They want to take away 1 point for themselves and end this day 1 on a good side. So this is going to be a crucial match for both teams, rather for more pressure on Mineski for losing match 2.
Yeah, and whoever gets the win here, if let's say Ascension does get that 2-0 for the day, they are almost secured probably the first spot in groups after the first set of the round robin. And while for Mineski, this is very crucial because you don't want to be 0-2 early on in this round robin.
And now we're seeing this Misfortune to Tom Kench pair up. You would expect Ascension Gaming to go for a more high burst damage. At the same time, protection for the Misfortune, right? But at the same time, I'm worried because when we saw match 2 and how Gary was easily picked up. Okay, I get it. You have the Nard to protect, but I want to see the same success I saw in Mineski in match 2. But for Ascension Gaming, I'm pretty much looking at G4 and how he's going to play out this Rise.
Yeah, and at the same time, I'm actually really curious about the ward placements right now. In the opening minutes of this game, we see on the top side earlier that Mineski putting 2 wards on the river, and they already saw Rocky walking up to the lane, so they know that Lloyd is not in the top side. He's not being given the leash by a top layer. But we see Lloyd actually soloing. Looks like he did solo his red buff.
But it's okay. He does have a healthy clear, but the fact that he does have the passive there, but looking at bot lane, it's very volatile because we're seeing a lot of heavy pokes coming from the Morgana, really trying to abuse it. But interestingly enough, we're seeing the starting items of our both marksmen here, Corrupting Potion start.
Yeah, and June right now looks like he's going for early gank at the bottom. He is spotted by that ward.
Offering some slight pressure. Ascension reads this, respects it. But can James make that play when it comes with the Dark Binding? The question is, it lands, but there will be no follow-up. But at least when it comes to this type of pairing and Apple, we can see a lot of damage.
Yeah, and also we see here Gary's keystone of choice. He does have that comment, which says that he's going for a more lethality, a more poke style build from the Varus, which I think is pretty smart with the current team comp that they have. They have a lot of poke, they have a lot of siege potential with that Vel'Koz and also that Varus.
Meanwhile, in mid side, EXO getting chipped a lot. G4 trading some blows, but it's going to be the fact that we're seeing, yes, biscuit delivery on its way, 3-minute mark. And G4 feels like he wants to do more damage to EXO.
Yeah, and this is a really aggressive move coming from G4, but it's mostly just to shove in the lane, just to pressure EXO so that he won't be able to spend his spells on the lane. But G4 getting ganked.
Over the wall, says hello. G4 up in the air, forcing to flash away. But look at June with the wolf. That's going to be first blood in the bags for Minaski.
Yeah, and great gank right there from June. He knew that G4 was shoving the lane, was trying to get the optimal back timing to get his tier. But right now, we see that he is buying that boots instead of any mana items.
Ooh, I just love Rocky. Love a good Renekton when he shoves in the lane so hard. The fact that Kaigo is on the ropes here. But going back to the gank in the mid lane, yeah, great gank by June. Personally, I thought G4 wouldn't have made it safely, but it's the fact that the wolf all the way from the brush side bites him down for that sweet first blood. It did go towards June.
Yeah, and I think the key thing there was EXO landing his knock-up on G4. He wasn't able to flash away immediately so that he would dodge more damage, but June just had the enough amount of auto attack so that Wolf would come and bite him down.
But still, G4 had a great flash done. He was really predicting the movements, but he did not expect that the Wolf will still chase him to the turret. So otherwise, first blood in the hands of Minaski in the 3-minute mark. You can see a lot of marksmen picking up more pods and even a biscuit delivery from the inspiration trees due to the fact that, you know, it's getting more expensive to stay in lane now.
Yeah, and also at the same time, it's because both of these marksmen have a lot of harass tools on their kit, and they both have Comet, so a lot more pots is a luxury for them. And they do have that teleport. They don't have any heal. It's only the Ascension Gaming's bot lane. Rich has that heal, while for James, he does have that ignite. So it translates that Mineski is looking for more aggressive plays here in the bot lane.
And welcome back to the caster cam. So looks like we're experiencing some technical difficulties on our side. Again, guys, we're trying our best to solve it at a speedy pace, but for now, you're gonna be on standby for now. But thank you guys for understanding. We really apologize for the difficulty on our side, but at the same time, we thank you so much for supporting the GCN group stages day 1 and rooting for your favorite team. So far, for those who are just tuning in right now, again, we are in an in-game pause. We have a technical difficulty, but I'm gonna give you some insights on what happened on the first 3 minutes. First blood goes to the hands of Mineski.
Yeah, and it's a good sign for Mineski that they again it feels like they have full reins of the early game. June making some good plays. He did go bot, tried to get a gank there, but he did get spotted by that ward. Then again, he saw mid lane, and he knew that the Rise was trying to go for a back. And what G4 did right there was something that Raven didn't do in the opening minutes when Ascension was against Resurgence. He did not try and harass his enemy laner. That did not try to harass the Vel'Koz when G4 was using it. So he probably had a safer back, but I think it's more of G4. He felt that he could try and bully out the mid lane, and probably they were looking at trying to get more objectives. Like, for example, I remember in the Resurgence game, since Vel'Koz had the higher priority in the lane, had the shove, they were able to get the Scuttle Crab, and probably that was what G4 was also aiming for.
And we did see a lot of plays with G4 on the Vel'Koz with the jungler. A heavy emphasis in the river control for match 1, but Mineski right now, they want to play aggressive. We do see it in their spells. So you're seeing an ignite in the bot lane. You're seeing that they are out for blood. At the same time, they want to reach their spikes as fast as they can. I mean, match 2, you have something like that heartbreaking defeat. You wouldn't want to come back strong in match 3. But Ascension Gaming, they still have their pride to show us here, making their name known and still establishing that, hey, we're the Kings of the Seas, constant first seed there. So why not still live up to that name?
Yeah, exactly. Apart from the pride, also, if you do get that 2-0, you feel that comfort that you're at the top of the standings immediately day one. So when you go to probably the third game, probably on the second set of the round robins, you can probably try and experiment different strategies that you have prepared so that you can always put the teams questioning whatever you're going to use. But for MSK, if they go 0-2 today, it will question how well they can perform moving forward because it will be crunch time. They might need to win every game after that.
So it's that added stress and pressure on your shoulders that you don't want entering day 2. But so far, what I can say right now for sure is that Ascension Gaming getting a 2, I agree with you there, man, that they're going to have an easy time. But for Mineski, it's the matter of fact that how can they deal with that pressure? Who knows? We do see teams perform really well and their backs are against the wall, but it all comes down to how they execute in the upcoming games. So right now, we are still in our in-game pause. We did run into some technical difficulties again, so we really apologize, guys. But going back to what you mentioned about having a good start, right?
Yeah.
I think it's time for our viewers to have a refresh their minds of the format here. So you may be wondering, what are the teams going to enter? Top 2 again from each group will be fighting for the semifinal spot. So that's why we emphasize so heavily on how this is crucial for both teams.
Yeah, exactly. And right now, we are going back into the game. You see right now here, the top lane, obviously Rocky has that Renekton. Renekton is infamous for being a really strong lane bully, and probably that's why he has that large of a CS lead against Kaigu.
And we also know how, for Mineski's side, it's that poke come in the bot lane, so you expect to be, hang on. Lloyd did not see that coming. Lloyd's flashing away, and Lloyd's up in the air. Exo going in for the flash kill with a cleanse just to deny the root from G4. He's running to the turret right now. He gets caught off by the blast, but it's okay. Ascension will lose one member, but in the end, Mineski will play it again, giving a kill towards Exo.
Yeah, and the question right here for me is Exo did use his flash and cleanse to get that kill on Lloyd. Yes, he did get a kill. He gets more gold. But moving forward, if Ascension can recognize that Exo doesn't have both of his summoner spells, they can probably punish this since G4's flash is gonna come up before Exo gets his flash back.
This may signal Lloyd to gank again. He is running the Trundle, just as we saw in match 1, and you know that this guy knows how to play the Trundle.
Yes.
Very cross-map heavy and knows how to rotate. But the thing is, top side doesn't look too much trouble for Ascension, whereas Kaigu, he may have to wait here. Piece is up, but looks like Rocky read that and instantly pops his Dominus.
Yeah, but it also looks like Kaigu, there's a chance that he might get dove right here by Rocky.
Oh, and it's gonna be up in the air. Face is there. He does flash away. Rocky is low, but he will survive. Close call for Kaigu.
Yeah, close call for Kaigu there. A bit more HP for Kaigu. He would have fallen down, but at the same time, it was, I think, worth for Rocky because he harassed Kaigu enough so that he won't be able to get all of the minions that's crashing on his tower. And I think this is pretty cocky from Rocky right now. He does buy that call. At the same time, if he does get the 100 stacks, then there's going to be a lot of gold for him.
I mean, he really has almost half the CS the amount of Kaigu. Looks like both teleports will be burned from Kaigu and Rocky. He did pick up the Phage. Instead of getting a boots, yes, he did get a call.
Yeah.
So it's okay, I guess. It's okay.
Well, that translates to me that he's expecting a really long laning phase going against this Cho'Gath. But at the same time, if you think about it, if Cho'Gath does get a lot of his items just stacks on health, gets more tanky later on, he can probably match up against Renekton because Renekton really falls off in the late game.
It's a matter of fact that Kaigo has to wait it out. Wait for his time to just fight back. Rocky, we did see it in a split moment. Kaigo was setting up for the feast. He did silence Rocky, but was a bit too late. He did pop his Dominus just in time. So this is the fact that we have to wait things out. But in the long run, yes, Kaigo will have an easier time against Rocky.
Yeah, and you can see here some of the first items that every player in the Rift right now has bought. And this is actually very curious from Exo that he did buy that Ionian Boots of Lucidity instead of the Magic Pen Boots. Because usually you would see that more from mages in the mid lane. At the same time, we do see both marksmen buying that Serrated Dirt.
Looks like we'll be expecting the Lethality virus instead of the on-hit virus we saw in match 2 for Gary.
Lloyd.
They're looking for something here. Can he find it? Subjugates onto Kaigo. He does flash away from the Trundle. Lloyd tagging the shot for Rocky, and he takes Kaigo down.
Yeah, and that was a really easy gank from Ascension at the top lane, but there's another fight in the bot lane.
And looking at bot lane side, that's going to be the ultimate fully channeling onto Rich. Rich does cleanse away, but here comes June over the wall. Abyssal Voyage in, and he gets away.
Yeah, and with that, killing Nixar in the bot lane and Rich using his ultimate to get out. Mineski might just be able to get the first tower here in the bot lane, but Ascension right now is getting that first turret in the top lane.
They're going to take it away. Frozen Domain and a Chomp. That's going to be a fast take for Ascension. And that's going to conclude Kaigo's lane phase for now. But the fact that Rocky can still pressure a lot in the top side. But it's the fact that Mineski, they're willing to trade things off here. Yes, they will take their own turret in the bot lane.
Yeah, at least Mineski does trade another objective in the bot lane, and they're looking at this dragon right now. If Mineski does get it, I feel it would be more work for them.
And we did talk about how Ascension Gaming in match, seeing how they played match 1, they had a great play when it comes to trading objectives. You take Cloud, we'll take Herald. Can we expect the same thing here? But it's how Ascension will play this out. And looks like that's going to be it, with Lloyd helping him take away the blue buff there. And I'm trying to spot out the Herald. Yes, it has just spawned right now. I won't be surprised if Ascension Gaming does try and take that away from Mineski.
Yeah, since they do have a lot of control in the top side of the map, and also Rocky is right now super strong at this point. He does have that Black Cleaver. He is 30 CS ahead of Kaigo. Any lane that Rocky goes to, and if there's only one member there, it's gonna be pretty scared.
He does have the Black Cleaver quite early. I would say 9 minutes in, you get a Black Cleaver. Ooh, aren't you having a good time in your lane? And at the same time, the Herald spawns right now, so I'm looking at the kill score, 1, 2, 3. At the same time, I'm waiting. What will be that game-changing clash?
Yeah, and both teams right now are looking in the mid lane. They are hovering around this river. Lloyd might be looking to go for mid lane, but at the same time, Mineski is focusing their efforts on the top side of the map.
Check that out, man. Look at the focus that Mineski is going. They don't want to give the Herald. I mean, at this point, Mineski trying to play things smart here, but note that Abyssal Voyage is up for Rich. I won't be surprised to see a clutch play here. Mineski should realize this. Oh, 3 members spotting in. Here comes the Voyage. Here comes the cut up there. They're rooting him down. Focuses on to Gary. Labs respite. Gary couldn't reach the ultimate. That's going to be 1 member down. June flashes away. James trying to tail behind. Ascension Gaming going for the exit kills. Warm up is coming in. James is trying to get away. Axel's coming in with the damage and spite. It's going to not happen here. Axel, does he have flash and cleanse? Yes, he does. This is safety. Ascension takes away 2 members of Mineski, and Mineski has lost the aggression from the top lane.
Yeah, and that was a smart play from Ascension Gaming. They went to the top side because they knew that they had numbers advantage right there. EXO wasn't able to go to the top side immediately because Mineski didn't have any ward coverage in the river going to the top side of the map. So Ascension essentially had the free gank in the top lane.
And now they saw this as a chance to get a free Herald. What's happening here? Kaigo, will he be chunked down? G4 getting blasted. Rocky's alone. Great damage from this Renekton. Not enough to kill, but enough to scare away Mineski.
Yeah, and they do scare away Mineski from the mid lane. And I think G4, no, it's actually Rich, TPing here in the mid lane to cover the lane.
He does have the unsealed spells book.
Yeah.
Quite a surprise there. So they do want to make cross map plays, so you want that map pressure. At the same time, you want to be there when the fun happens. So far, EXO again does force out his flash to get away from Nexa.
Yeah, and I think that was a pretty greedy way for EXO. He did prioritize getting the CS instead of slowing down Nixar. But yeah, flash expended from EXO.
At this pace of the game, I'm seeing 2 things. I'm feeling like Mineski is not yet in that much of a control in this game. And Ascension doing all the stops they can. I mean, they're the ones burning summoner spells. They're the ones showing aggression. While Mineski, they're the ones just trying to get away from their grasp.
Yeah, and you would say that Ascension is getting their win conditions. They need to get ahead early so that Rocky and Nixar would have a lot of damage in this mid-game fights. But at the same time, if Mineski just holds on, they don't give away too much. They just give away one tower every few minutes. Then they can turtle to their base, get more gold, get this Varus and Kindred online.
And
they can deal a lot more damage later on.
And that's what they have to wait here. Rocky is on a timer here, but I don't think they're going to turtle their way into this game because they have just taken away the Rift Herald. So Mineski needs to play smart here. If they summon it or if they lose crucial members, Herald right now is scary. In a way, it can cost you the inhibitor if you don't play it safe or the right way.
Yeah, and also...
That's the worst case scenario.
Exactly.
That's the worst case scenario.
Also, Ascension doesn't really have a lot of ways to siege.
Oh.
If they do have that Rift Herald, it's like a free structure for them.
Yes. And that was aggressive of Nexar. Oh, Hammond instantly flashing over the wall, but look at Jun for their save. That's going to be the route there. Jun takes down Rich, but at the cost of his life, Nexar survives.
Yeah, and Rich right there, great support, trying to save his ADC, but G4 going in.
You better back away, Hammond. You're quite low. They're going to root down the rise. Jun's left alone. He did not pop his lamp to spy, signaling the other members of Mineski to back off.
Yeah, and Jun falling down. It's a 1-for-1 in the end for both teams. And you see here, bot lane, Kaigo and Rocky just dueling. Yeah.
Just dueling what they can. At the same time, check out that CS. He did pick up the Tabi to deny some damage from the Ruthless Predator, but at the same time, it's quite too late because look at that. Rocky just single-handedly pushed away Kaigo, and now he's trying to take down the outer bot lane turret.
Yeah, and you were talking about how Rocky's skull
Oh.
was... Okay, EXO trying to harass the bot lane of
Look
Ascension.
at that. Aggression.
Yeah.
I like that. we need to see some aggression in any way we can here because if they don't show their teeth or their fangs, Ascension will just mop the floor with them. But you were talking about the call of Rocky, right? We were kind of wondering, is he going to complete it pretty fast, actually?
Yeah, pretty fast. He did get that just now, I think. And I just noticed that he did buy that Berserker Steed and is going for a Blade of the
Oh
Ruined
my
King.
god, talk about aggressive.
Yeah, he is literally looking for just a 1v1 against Kaigo at this point.
He needs to get that board to chunk some damage to that tank. So this is going to be Kaigo still having that trouble. I mean, yes, you're in a Cho'Gath, you're going to be very tanky, but Black Cleaver and Borg, that's not something you want to deal with, especially if it's a Renekton.
Yeah, and it's gonna take a long time for Kaigo to be able to stand Rocky there if ever they go on the side lane. But it looks like Mineski is gonna be able to pick up this Cloud Drake, the second of the game.
Okay, we're talking about lethality builds on the marksman here.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's what we're talking about. Lethality builds on the marksman here. And is it going to fare Mineski more or is it going to fare Ascension? Because we know that Miss Fortune's bullet time is really painful.
Yeah, we do know that it's going to be really painful, but if it lands on Mineski, at this point though, they do have a lot of tools to poke down Ascension Gaming. But Ascension Gaming literally has a free pass to get to the backline, and Ascension is looking to try and engage this siege from Mineski in the mid lane.
They're really forcing this mid lane. Meanwhile, on the top side, we're seeing G4 pushing the top waves without any trouble at the same time in the bot lane for Rocky. So Mineski invested so much in the mid lane that they kind of neglected the top and bot, but they instantly respond trying to catch G4. It catches the Realm Orb, escapes. AZ gonna go for the execute. Oh, G4! That's dirty. I love that teleport play. Well played by G4 from Ascension. Great feint from G4 to step into the Realm Orb and then teleport away.
Yeah, and you know, just casually walking away from your Realm Orb and going back in to be able to get that free pass. Yeah, like it was nothing. And
it was just child's play for G4 at this point. The way he executed was like he wasn't even panicking. Complete control there. But now, the Herald has spawned in the bot side. And Leski has to answer this. Cho'Gath is right there, same with Hamis. So Kaigo and Hamis will deal with this Herald, but it is going to cost them some damage. But at this point, we are nearing the 20-minute mark here. It's going to be 18 minutes right now. Yes, on your screens you can see the Baron timer. This is crucial.
Yeah, this is crucial for Mineski at this point. They need to get back the tempo, but at the same time, if they can just hunker down try and wait for that moment when Ascension makes a mistake so that Mineski can get back into this game. They do have some of the tools so that they can just defend, they can just clear the waves. Vel'Koz arguably has a really, really good wave clear along with that Varus. So if ever Ascension tries to go for a siege, Mineski can just repel it easily. But at the same time, Ascension Gaming, we've seen in the previous game against Resurgence, they are really, really good at setting up vision and setting up the tempo of the game. If they can put a lot of vision on the next objective, which is going to be Baron in about a minute, and they force Mineski to face check it and get the pick, that might just be the key for Ascension to win this game.
And I hope that Mineski doesn't go for a blind face check. See, they're carrying out control wards, denying some vision there. They realize this, they respect it. We gotta put some wards at the Baron Pit or we're pretty much gonna lose this game. And now we're waiting here. Kindred, wait a minute, Exo, flashing away. Exhaust is there, he's slowed down. Pops the stasis, this is good, this is under turret. Here comes the bullet time, here comes the ray. Nexter gets saved by Rich, he's trying to get away, spits him out. Jun goes in for the flash, trying to take him down. It's gonna be a crossbar play. This is Mineski can wipe 2 members of Ascension. It's gonna happen, but in the end, Lloyd survived.
Yeah, it's only gonna be 1 kill for Mineski right there, and they do break the siege in the mid lane, but their side waves are getting shoved in by the solo laner from Ascension Gaming.
Close call.
Yeah.
Not quite just yet, but still it's the fact that that was such a close call by Ascension. Great stasis by Exosen to just buy time, and Kaigo with the face check there with this rupture.
Yeah, and right now, as we were saying earlier, Mineski needs to capitalize on the mistakes of Ascension Gaming, and albeit small, Ascension did make a mistake right there. They went for a very aggressive play on Exo. Partially, it might have been impatience. They saw that they could go for a 50-50, but Mineski, recognizing immediately that Exo might be the one getting jumped on by Ascension Gaming, immediately reacting, and they were rewarded with at least 1 kill.
And that kill can really favor them because right now they have 2 Drakes on their hand. Double stack Cloud, the hands of Mineski on the red side. One thing I'm seeing right now is Kaigo running picking up the Bramble Vest with the Tabby. If Rocky's gonna go for a 1v1, same thing will Kaigo return the favor by picking up a Bramble Vest. And looks like Lloyd gets rooted down, getting chunked by Axe. So there's the heal. Oh man, you gotta love the Tom Kench pick from Ascension, denying a lot of kills from Mineski.
Well, if the Tom Kench is in your team, you would really love that. But if you were the opposing team, like Mineski, they'll probably hate its guts right now. And Rocky looks like he's gonna get the 2nd-tier bot lane turret of Mineski.
And this is great for Ascension. They're just making the map theirs. The next Drake, Mountain Drake, will spawn soon. But here's the thing. Okay, the Mountain Drake is gonna spawn in 1 minute and 4 seconds. But the Baron is live right now. So Mineski trying to play it smart here. They're focusing too much, actually the right way, the top side and the mid lane. But the fact is, I'm pretty scared on what can happen in the bot lane here. Get a corruption. There's the shield. G4 survives. Gary the double kill for G4. That was such a clutch play. Ascension really baiting them in. And now Mineski has lost 2 members. This can open the Baron. June is gone. Gary's dead. Rocky pushing the bot lane. This is big.
G4 just being a boss in this game. He was super strong on the Vel'Koz against Resurgence, and now he just deleted 2 members of Mineski, and looks like it's gonna be the Baron for Ascension Gaming.
Can they go for the steal? Exo has ultimate up. Can he go in with the disintegration ray? And yes, he does! Melting Lloyd! Hamas going in with the ultimate, pops the stasis, and here comes the Baron! Hamas takes him down! Mineski denies the Baron!
And Exo and Hamas right there, 2v4 the Ascension Gaming, essentially stopping the Baron. And now it looks like Mineski are the ones who are about to get this Baron.
Disintegration Ray, the binding from the Morgana, slows down Ascension. Mineski answers the aggression from Ascension with their own teleport coming in. Because why not? Hang on, it's not yet over. Nexa has the ultimate up. Lamb's Respite delays the fight. Can they survive in time? Rocky going in. Oh, he can go for the Quadra here, and he's going to go for the wipeout. But Mineski backing away with the Baron buff. Close call for Minaski, but Ascension taking away 2 members.
That was so close right there. Luckily, Meneski did pick that Shogat. They did also have that smite. Jajun, I believe, wasn't able to smite. Kaigu just eating up that Baron, securing it for Meneski. That would have gone so badly for Meneski at that point because Rocky is at a super strong point in this game. 23 minutes, he is 3-0-0 and has 280 CS. Man.
You gotta respect that Renekton played with the Ruin King Essence Reaver. This is Rocky understanding that why build tanky if I'm gonna be useless anyway? Might as well maintain my lead, and that's what he showed us here because entering the Lime Respite, that's gonna be invitation for Rocky to enter the fight.
Yeah.
1 Q, that could have been a quadra. That could have gone so bad. But in the end, it's a relief for Minaski that they only lost 2 members, plus they take away the Baron. But a great job by Ascension to deny at least something, to get some money out of it.
Yeah, and that's what I've been seeing Ascension Gaming has done all game, even against Resurgence. Even though it doesn't look like they're gonna get everything, they still try to trade at least something so that the other team won't be able to just keep on snowballing. And we saw that right there in that Baron take. Yes, Ascension Gaming was pretty greedy early on. They did try and get that Baron, and I believe we do have a replay on the Baron take for Meneski, or probably starting from that Ascension Gaming.
Of course we have a replay for that. It wouldn't be it's worthy of that replay here, so break it down for us. Crazy.
Yeah, and at the start right here, Nixar forcing Meneski to go to one side of the Baron pit, and Rocky almost finishing everyone. Luckily, Kaigu was able to eat that Baron immediately so that Meneski was able to get that. And luckily for Meneski, they still had 3 members who have that Baron pit and the Baron buff, but Rocky is looking at EXO on the top side.
This is up. Ooh, EXO getting locked down. He's singled out and Rocky just stomps him on the ground. Now Minaski are in a bad spot. This could cost them the game. Gary buying time with the chain of corruption. They're just going for 1-by-1 exit kills. It's going to be EXO and James for the trade-off there, but they're not going to stop. Gary will be the next bait, and G4 will be happy to take him down.
Yeah, and a 3-0 in favor of Ascension Gaming. And
so much for the Baron buff.
Yeah, so much for the Baron buff. And what was EXO doing right there? He was so shoved up in the lane. Ascension has a lot of ways to gank you in the lane. What were you doing there? And right now, Ascension is looking for the first tier mid lane turret of Meneski.
They still have a chance here. Death timers are going to be up. 2 seconds on EXO. Gary, otherwise 17 seconds. But Ascension Gaming will stop there, giving some space, giving some room for Minaski to breathe. At least they're granted that small chance to come back because third score-wise, 5-2. Kill score, 12-8. We are nearing the 27-minute mark. But for Minaski, I'm confused on what to expect in the late game. We're not seeing that same marksman that we really highlight from Minaski here because we're seeing Gary 1-4-1 going for pure lethality on this virus. Is it worth it? Compare that to Nixar's misfortune.
Well, at the same time, I think it's just overall Ascension Gaming playing better essentially against Meneski. It's not about, I don't think it's not about the Gary and the Nixar pick, but Meneski is trying to force a fight here in the mid lane.
Great ice pillar by Lloyd to deny the disengage, and EXO again spotted by a ward. He will be taken down without any problem. Now Meneski, they don't have a mid laner. They're trying to back away. Now Meneski trying to turn things around, takes down Rich. Kaigo taking all the damage they can, but he will be left for dead. That's going to be Rocky in the bot lane, pushing away the waves here. Meneski forced to back away again. Rocky singled out. He does have the Borg. He does have the Greaves. He has enough attack speed to chunk it down. James, Gary on the scene. Can they deny it? No, Rocky doesn't care. He's still going to stay in lane because Ascension is not pushing in the bot lane. Realm Orb is coming in right now. Ascension, 3 members right now in the base. June, James, and Gary trying to stop, but Ascension won't stop at all until they have that inhibitor and they take it away.
Yeah, and they destroyed the bot lane inhibitor of Meneski, essentially putting a hole inside Meneski's base. 27 minutes into the game, and it looks like Ascension again, just like the first game, in the driver's seat, closing out this game.
And now it's going to be the fact that also for Meneski, there's that hole for Meneski here because EXO keeps getting singled out one after another. They need... I thought this was a poke comp, but why are they the ones trying to engage hard on?
Well, at that point in the mid lane, they were trying to force a fight immediately against Ascension because they were trying to stop Rocky from the line. But EXO...
And they're just having a blast. They are just gonna single out EXO. This is Ascension realizing that weakness, and they are just abusing it. Right now, Ascension takes down EXO Sen. 4 members left from MSK. Death timers, 40 seconds. Ascension Gaming looking really, really good to try and end this game here. Can they go for the finish? Baron will be live in 1 minute and 18 seconds.
Yeah, both the Cloud Drake and that Baron are gonna come up at the same time. And Nixar again using his Yomu's Ghost Blade.
Closing in the gap for Jun, trying to back away. Low is there with the Ice Pillar. They're trying to shove back the waves, trying to buy time, but Ascension just bleeding everything. Rocky left alone, trying to get someone, trying to get Gary. Pops the Guardian Angel. It's Rocky still alive, but it finally takes him down. Buys enough time for Ascension to take down the mid lane inhibitor turret.
But it looks like Ascension on the other side of Mineski's base are trying to get a lot more. I think this top lane turret is about to fall down. It does get saved by EXO, but James
then had some butterfingers there, so EXO tries to join in the fight. Now, it's time to honestly say they need to snap out of it here because they're making those key mistakes, and you leave it to Ascension to realize it, and they would just pick your wound, make it deeper, and that's what they're doing right now. Picking up the members. War control is here. June is low, forced to ultimate away. They cannot afford to lose June right now. Baron is live in 6 seconds.
Yeah, and G4 at this point is super ahead. He's just super strong. He has that completed Seraph's Embrace, Spellbinder, Death Cap, and 10 stacks on that Dark Seal. You just saw right there, he dealt 800 damage with 1 Q.
So what's gonna happen here? Teleport's coming in. Ascension looking really good to take away this Baron. Or is Mineski gonna contest the Baron? All or nothing at this point. June going over the wall. Is it going to be a steal? They take it away! And it's going to be MSK pushing away Ascension. If they get the ace here, they win this game! They need to take everything! And Kaigo takes on Rocky. G4 over the wall. It's going to be Lloyd very low. And it's going to be Nexar trying to choke on the members of MSK. Baron Power Minions. It's going to be 4 members, 3 members gone. And now MSK forced to recall away. They take it at 3 members. The Baron buff in their hands. They will defend their base.
Yeah, and Mineski with a miracle Baron seal right there, and also taking down 3 members from Ascension Gaming. They're now defending their base, but at the same time trying to get this second tier turret in the mid lane.
And now, Mineski trying to take back this game. Takes that second steal for themselves. 15 to 13 kill score here. We are nearing the 32-minute mark. And now, are they the ones to try and win back this game? 3 members of Ascension Gaming still down. 10 seconds left on Rocky. Lloyd will be up soon. Same with Nexa. But for Mineski, they are eyeing this Cloud Drake.
Yeah, and this would be the 3rd Cloud Drake for them. If they do secure this dragon, and if they can get the Elder Drake later on, they would put in a very good position. And you can see right here, can we get a slow-mo? How much Baron health? And it was taken by the smite from JJ at around 200 HP. And Kaigo just trying to chase down the members of Ascension right here, taking down 3 members after this.
I want to look at Nixar's position. Great job to use the bullet time, but in the end, they don't care. They're pretty much chunked, but at least Nixar hold his ground there, held his ground there just long enough for him to try and get some damage. But in the end, what a game it is. 8-3 turret score. Right now, the inhibitor in the bot side is still down, and they need to wait things up. Or another miracle, Elder Drake. Everyone will spawn. Still far, maybe 4:35 or 40-minute mark. But it's something that you guys want to watch out for. But the fact is, what I want to see is how is Mineski finally woke from what happened in the first 30 minutes of the game. Have they finally waken up and now focus so far? But for Ascension, you gotta hand it towards G4. He really knows how to escape fights.
Yeah, and he's been the driving force for the early to mid game for Ascension Gaming. G4 has always been, or since game 1, has been the key force into trying to get these kills, absorbing pressure. But now Mineski is looking to siege his mid lane turret.
Do or die here. G4 has full stacks on a Spellbinder. Take note. That's going to be a lot of damage. Waiting on the winds, waiting for the flank. What is this? Respect being shown by Ascension Gaming.
But Mineski might be looking for the end right here.
Can they go for the end?
G4 is at the back though.
They're forcing it. They cannot escape without their lives here because they need to survive. Ascension Gaming devoting themselves towards the base. Rocky pressuring Kaigo. What's going to happen here? Time is ticking. The race is on. Who's going to take away match 3? G4 with a single out. It's going to be a pile-up inside the ultimate disintegration ray. The bullet time is there. June coming up to Lloyd. Hammers is still alive, but G4 takes down Gary. This is going to be game set if they take down everyone, but Dineski survives at the cost of Gary's life. Realm Morbid is going to come in, trying to go for the execute. Exo is left alone. Can he go for some damage? Can he go for some kills? No, he cannot. Only June, Kaigo, Hames left to defend their base.
Yeah, and we'll see right here which direction is Ascension Gaming going to. Will they try to end the game? No, it looks like they're just going back and defending their lanes. And oh my god, Mineski, I think it was a bad decision to stay in Ascension Gaming's base, especially G4 was right at the wings. They were surrounded by Ascension Gaming members, and also he did have that 100 stacks on the Spellbinder. Gary just popped essentially with just one spell rotation coming from G4.
It didn't even last like a second. I mean, the Lamb Respite was there. What saved Gary was actually the Guardian Angel that has been burnt. So it's the fact that the Respite was a bit late, but would that have mattered? I think it would, because in the end, Gary wouldn't be in a stationary position for a long time, for enough for Ascension to close in. But the fact is, how do you think this game is going to end? Honestly saying, because I don't know what's going to happen next.
Right now, it's been a roller coaster ride for both teams. Sometimes they're ahead, sometimes they're not. But Rocky is looking for Jun.
And now he's going to just... Wait a minute. This is bad. Teleport, I can see it. Rocky with a single kill. Okay. Jun's gone. Can they go for the cleanup there? Oh, Rocky! He still survives. So here comes the tight spot.
It's a 4v5 right now for Mineski though.
This isn't good. Rocky is still healthy, pushing out the super minions in the bot lane. June, 37 seconds left on his death timer. Mineski still holding ground, holding fort. Mid lane in their favor. So far, that's going to be enough time for Mineski to wait for June. But this is going to be the decision both of these teams will make. Do you take the Elder? Or do you take the Baron? Or you take everything and ace them and just ruin their hopes here? Because what I'm seeing right now is the fact that it's all about base race, I would say. But if the inhibitors respawn in the bot lane, that would put Mineski in a better position.
Yeah, and also if Ascension Gaming does get their inhibitor back in the mid lane, I believe it's gonna come back earlier than the bot lane inhibitor of Mineski.
Oh, this hurts. I'm seeing the Solari. I'm seeing the Knight's Vow. This is the reason why Ascension, especially G4, can survive so much abuse coming from Mineski. At the same time, I'm checking out the items. I'm checking the timer. It's still the fact that I was waiting for that late game damage that we were promised to see from Mineski. But for Ascension, it's the fact that G4 is just too good. It's just too good. I mean, the fact that he knows how to play on the map, the position, the flanks, it's there. He reads the map, and not to mention Ascension, great vision investment.
Yeah, and with that amount of vision, they've been using it super well. But at the same time, Mineski just have a lot of tools of getting that Baron. They do have that feast from the Cho'Gath. They also have the Smite. And also, if Lamb's Respite goes down, they can essentially secure the Baron.
Lamb's Respite, in a way, can help survive the members of Mineski. Yes, but do they want to be clumped up in that circle when you're seeing a Renekton and a Ryze? I don't think so. As much as possible, I don't think they should rely too much on the Lamb's Respite. But in fact, again, why fix something that's broken here? We can still see Rocky pushing the bot lane waves in the bot lane, whereas Mineski, they're trying their best to stall.
Yeah, and right now both teams are probably looking for these two big ticket objectives, and G4 is just soloing this Elder Drake.
Okay?
He can do this.
He can do it, and he will take it away. Baron is live right now, and I guess they'll take everything from Mineski. Man, I'm pretty sure they're happy with just the Elder.
They just used the Tom Kencho to get inside the Baron pit.
That's the second Baron of the game. If Mineski gives this away, it's over for them. They need to do something. 3 members, is that enough? No, they are respecting the contest from Mineski, but Rocky is just doing a good job pushing the waves. Can he survive? Can they delay the Baron? It's only a matter of time. The inhibitor has respawned.
Mineski's giving this up.
Mineski will regroup under the base. Now the question is, can they deal with the Baron, with the Elder? Rocky is left alone. They need to respect.
Oh my god, Rocky.
Oh boy, one more hit, one more hit. Oh, slice and dice away. Here comes the piercing arrow. Am I seeing a piercing arrow charge? He does dodge it away. He survives. And now it's Ascension in the blue side, aiming to pick up any member of Mineski. No, they're going for a reset. Now the question is, can they survive in long enough to expire this Baron buff, to at least burn the Elder? Only time will tell, man. It's 40 minutes into this game here. It's just match 3.
Well, as we've seen in match 2 from Team Anything, anything can happen. So if Mineski can pull what Team Anything did earlier and win a team fight inside their own base, they can probably still turn this game around.
That's gonna feel very good.
Yeah, but at this point, they both have the Baron and the Elder Drake. Ascension Gaming might just be able to finish the game here.
Actually, the Elder should expire soon. It's only 3 minutes. So they just need to burn things out. That's what they're doing right now. So at least we're seeing, yes, the Elder will expire soon. It's quarter left there for the Elder Drake buff. It'll expire soon enough, actually. So... But, okay, Ascension knows that's gonna expire, but they're trying to rush things down here. Look at this again. Wait a minute.
You know, the Baron buff might just be enough since Ascension doesn't have a lot of siege. If their minions can just live long enough for them to chip away at these towers and force Mineski to use some spells.
Round more just to scare them away. It's about mind games here. Inhibitor in the bot lane is down. Ascension aiming for the mid lane now.
Mineski needs to engage.
Yeah. Kaigo does have the Righteous Glory if they want to go for the engage here. They need to single out Nixar, but at the same time, they need to be worried about G4. He deals so much damage towards the turret. This is going to be the second. The second inhibitor has been taken down. The Elder Drake has expired. Could this be the window for Mineski they're looking for? Only the third one stands. Only one Nexus Storage remains. There's the cancel. Axel cleanse away, flashing away. It's going to be the engage. G4 is on the damage here. Kaigo tagging everything. It's going to be Mineski not surviving. Jun singling out Rocky. They're going back to the Nexus turret, devoting their lives to it. It's all or nothing for Mineski. All the inhibitors have been taken down. Only one stands until the Nexus is exposed. Kaigo going in for the feast. Misses the mark onto G4. He survives. Hamas is there. It's gonna be Hamas taking down G4. Rocky going in. Last respite for the delay. Guardian Angel is here for the rescue. Kaigo is coming. He's down. Axel takes down Rocky. Ascension just escaping everything. Flash out. It is Mineski going in for the exit kills. It is now Mineski still standing, surviving. Nexus still stands.
Oh my god, Mineski just defended their last Nexus turret. They have some breathing doom right now. There's 3 members down for Ascension. We'll see if Mineski can they get at least one inhibitor from Ascension game at this point. The mid lane inhibitor is open right now.
Okay, so from that long siege, let's check out a replay to see what went down.
Yeah, before this we saw Kaigo flashing and feasting on G4. G4 was almost done, but I think he was taken down by Hamas by the Ignite. And right now, it looks like Mineski was still in a bad position, but Rocky being singled out on the side was taken down. His GA is resurrecting him, but at the same time, the great timing on the knockoff from them to get the kill. Next are just gonna get sniped by Gary right here. I feel like if Mineski was able to get more kills from here, they might just have been able to end the game. But seeing that right now, Ascension needs to rethink how are they gonna go inside Mineski's base. Can they still just keep on forcing a fight with their superior number in items? But at the same time, Mineski is scaling to that point where Jun will deal so much damage, even to the front line of Ascension Gaming.
So the question is, can Ascension end it? I think so, because you check out the turret, you check out the way that the clash went. At that moment, the inhibitors were still being taken down. Now, they have one thing to focus on. One turret stands in the way of Ascension for taking away 1 point from Mineski. But Mineski, knowing that this is going to be a do or die, not yet giving up just yet. Oh, look at the damage from June for the G4. If they take down this Rise, that could be good news. But at this point, Rocky cannot deal with Kaigo alone. But all members of Ascension are invested here. We see G4 recalling to base, teleporting back to the siege. Mineski holding fort. What can happen?
Yeah, Ascension wants to end the game right here. Kaigo just got rooted down, but he is still pretty healthy at this point.
One thing you should watch out is G4. And if G4 survives, that is bad news for Mineski. But can we still expect the same feast in?
Rocky is getting ulted down by EXO, but he does get away.
G4
is getting focused.
G4 gets eaten up by Rich. Very close call for G4. Ascension still standing in the base. Turret is down. Nexus is exposed. Mineski, can you take the sky? Rocky coming in, trying to take down Kaigo. Nexus being shipped down. Ascension will end this game, taking down Mineski. Well played by Ascension Gaming. The Nexus was the answer, but in the end, it's gonna be Ascension Gaming, Kings of the Sea, taking away match 3. Congratulations to Ascension Gaming for that great play, especially G4. You gotta hand it towards G4, man. The way he played it was outstanding. So, what a match that was.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna get a heart attack on those moments that it felt like Mineski was really defending their base well. But at one point, when the Nexus turret fell down, Ascension, with their overwhelming damage, just bursted down that Nexus.
So now, Ascension Gaming looking really good in their position to try and move on to the semifinals for the GCM semifinals, which will be live in August 18 to 19. But I think before we sign off, any final thoughts? What happened in match 3?
Okay. There were so many things happening in that match 3, especially Mineski actually securing all the Barons and getting a lot more objectives. They also, I believe, got three Drakes. But apart from, Ascension did get 1 Baron before the end of the game. And, I think at that point, Ascension needed to win that team fight because we saw how Rocky was getting hit by Vel'Koz from EXO. It dealt so much damage at that point, and I thought it was gonna the build from Rocky was gonna bite Ascension at the back because he was super squishy and he can just get bursted down really easy. But Rocky, he was just super good. I think he was at some points as good as G4 in terms of dodging skill shots, dodging a lot of the damage, and getting enough pressure from Mineski. And at that point, Ascension just kept taking advantage that Mineski just kept pouring resources into G4 and Rocky.
And it's the fact that I think we did see a lot of mistakes coming from Mineski's side, especially X getting picked off by G4, and they know this. You gotta have to watch the Tom Kench. Abyssal Voyage is kind of underrated, and not to mention, it's the fact that you can easily abuse the low mobility of a Vel'Koz. So, this concludes match 3. We thank you so much for watching the match 3 of Mineski versus Ascension Gaming, with Ascension Gaming winning this match. So my name is Vulcan, with me was Crazy Apple. See you after the short break for the continuation of match 4, and thank you so much for watching the GCM group stages. To Gary, Labs respite, Gary couldn't reach the ultimate, that's gonna be 1 member down. June flashes away. James trying to tail behind. Ascension Gaming going for the exit kills. Warm-up is coming in. James is trying to get away. Axel's coming in with the damage and spite. It's gonna not happen here. Axel saved by Rich. He's trying to get away. Spits him out. Jun goes in for the flash, trying to take him down. It's gonna be a crossbar play. This is Mineski can wipe 2 members of Ascension. It's gonna happen, but in the end, Lloyd. Rocky going in. Oh, we can go for the quadra here, and he's gonna go for the wipeout. But Mineski backing away with the Baron buff. Close goal for Mineski, but Ascension taking away 2 members. He singled out, and Rocky just stomps him on the ground. Now Mineski are in a bad spot. This could cost them the game. Gary buying time with the chain of corruption. They're just going for 1-by-1 exit kills. It's going to be EXO and James for the trade-off there, but they're not going to stop. Gary will be the next bait, and G4 will be happy to take him down.
Yeah, and
EXO again, spotted by a ward. He will be taken down without any problem. Now Mineski, they don't have a mid laner. They're trying to back away. Now Mineski trying to turn things around, takes down Rich. Kaigo taking all the damage they can, but he will be left for dead. That's going to be Rocky in the ball lane, pushing away the wave. Take away this Baron, or is Mineski going to contest the Baron? All or nothing at this point. Jun going over the wall. Is it going to be a steal? Then taken away, and it's going to be Mineski pushing away Ascension. If they get the ace here, they win this game. They need to take everything. And Kaigo takes on Rocky. G4 over the wall. That's going to be Lloyd very low. And it's going to be Nexar trying to choke on the members of Mineski. Barry Power Minions. It's going to be 4 members, 3 members gone. And now Mineski forced to recall away. They take it at 3 members. The Baron buff in their hands. They will defend their base.
Yeah, and Mineski with a miracle Baron seal right there, and also taking down 3 members from Ascension Gaming.
The Disintegration Ray. The bullet time is there. June going up to Lloyd. James is still alive, but G4 takes down Gary. This is going to be game set if they take down anyone, but Mineski survives at the cost of Gary's life. Realm Mermaid is going to come in, trying to go for the execute. Axel is left alone. Can he go for some damage? Can he go for some kills? No, he cannot. Only one Nexus Noise remains. There's the cancel. Axel turns away, flashing away. It's going to be the engage. G4 is on the damage here. Kaigo attacking everything. It's going to be Mineski not surviving. June singling out Rocky. They're going back to the Nexus turret, devoting their lives to it. It's all or nothing for Mineski. All the inhibitors have been taken down. Only one stands until the Nexus is exposed. Kaigo going in for the feast. Misses the mark onto G4. He survives. James is there. It's gonna be James taking down G4. Rocky going in. Lazarus spike for the delay. Guardian Angel is here for the rescue. Kaigo is coming. He's down. Axel takes down Rocky. Ascension just escaping everything. Flash out. And it's Mineski going in for the exit kill. G4 is getting focused. G4 gets eaten up by Rich. Very close call for G4. Ascension still standing in the base. Turin is down. Nexus is exposed. Mineski, can you take this game? Rocky coming in, trying to take down Kaigo. Nexus being shipped down. Ascension will end this game, taking down Mineski. Well played by Ascension Gaming. The Nexus was the answer, but